Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. If you're new here, my name is Danny. Today I'm going to be talking about the Ilia Beauty, their bronzer and their highlighter. They just recently came out with these, so I'm just going to start off and go right ahead and tell you about them. So starting off with the bronzer, so this is called their Nightlite bronzing powder, and they have two different shades to choose from. They have the shade Drawn In, which is the one that I have. It's a little bit of a lighter shade, and then they also have a shade called Novelty, and these are described as a clean, talc-free, finely milled powder that delivers a natural bronzed look. Buttery soft textures blend easily and can build from a natural sun-kissed glow to more dramatic payoff. So this is a matte formula, and it says how it works. Sun-kissed with a silky soft touch, this supremely blendable matte powder is finely milled with a subtle sheen for a luminous finish and a natural warmth that you can dial up in intensity for a stronger contour. Includes a built-in mirror for easy on-the-go application. So let's just go ahead and get right into applying this. Here is the bronzer. Very smooth texture, has that buttery soft feel. It definitely feels very finely milled. So let's just go ahead and start applying this. I'm just taking this really fluffy brush, and there is a bit of kick up, but don't think it's much of an issue. So I'm just gonna go ahead and bronze. I'm not really gonna go for a contour look right now. I'm just gonna kind of warm up the face. But if you want, you can totally use this as a more precise contour. But I normally just use bronzer for like a warmth on the face. So I think that that's looking really pretty. Looks very seamless and smooth on the skin. So I really like how that looks. I'm going to build this up. Just really want to see how you can build this up. I really like that it's not looking overly pigmented. Sometimes I find that with bronzers, I might apply a little bit too much too easily. And I like that this, you kind of have to like build it. But even when you build it, it looks more seamless. It doesn't look like just a stark chunk or a line of pigment. I think that it just gives a really natural look and finish. I definitely think that this shade works well for my skin tone. So if you think you have a similar skin tone as me, then I think you would probably like this shade right here, which again is Drawn In. But they do have that darker shade if you have a deeper skin tone. Unfortunately, they don't have a deeper shade. They really should. Hopefully they'll come out with a deeper shade in the future, because come on, there's deeper shades needed. But I really like how this looks on the skin, and it looks really pretty. Like, I really like how that looks. It doesn't look like I have a bronzer on, if that makes sense. Like, you can tell that the face looks like nice and warmed up, but it's not like overly heavy, and I just think that it blends super seamlessly, and it just sits really nicely on the skin. It doesn't look patchy. It's applying really beautifully. And I like that I can just kind of keep building it up, but even when I keep building it up, it isn't looking too heavy, and it's still just giving like a nice warmth to the skin. Just really applying it to my nose, just really bronzing up. Just gonna kind of dab this around the cheek area lightly. What do you guys think? Do you like it? I think it's really pretty. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the highlighter. All right, now for the highlighter, again, they have two shades for this. They have the shade Decades, which is the one that I have, and then they also have the shade Starstruck. So the shade that I have, Decades, is described as a soft gold, and then the other shade that they have, Starstruck, is described as a deep rose gold. So this is described as a clean, talc-free, finely milled powder that delivers an illuminating glow. How it works: buttery soft textures blend easily and can create a subtle shimmer or a more dramatic highlight. Metallic finish adds depth and dimension to high points of face. Both the highlighter and the bronzer are $34. So again, I have the shade Decades, and here is what it looks like. Really pretty sleek packaging. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this where I would normally apply some highlighter. And I'm just taking my little fluffy highlighter brush. If you're curious, this is the Morphe E61. The letters are a little bit faded, so it's hard to read it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start applying it. That is really, really pretty. So I do have a bit of like texture on my skin because I have acne prone skin. I have a little bit of, I feel like sometimes highlighters can emphasize the texture, but I mean, it emphasizes it a little bit. Pretty much all highlighters do. They're just, highlighters tend to emphasize things because they're really bringing out that glow. But I don't think it's overly emphasizing it. And I think it's just applying really beautifully and smoothly. And of course, that is a really pretty highlight. Definitely gives you that quick glow. However, I don't think it's too overpowering. But I definitely think that you can build this up. Like, look at that. I'm just adding more, and I do think that it's really building up that intensity. But I'm just gonna apply it over here. You can definitely just do a light hand and get a more subtle glow, and that also looks really, really pretty. So I'm just gonna also apply it to the brow bone, and then I'm gonna add a little to the nose, because why not? This looks really pretty, really natural. Of course, if you build that intensity, not as natural, but I still think that it's not like overpowering or anything, and I still think it just really gives a really pretty luminosity and glow to your skin and just looks really healthy. And definitely, you know, both the bronzer and the highlighter are both very finely milled, so I think that this just really helps them go on smoothly, kind of like that buttery smooth texture, and just really gives a smooth soft finish, and just doesn't look too stark or harsh, and just gives a really pretty wash of that pigment. And I just think that it's really, really pretty. I also really like this shade. I mean, I feel like it's pretty similar to a lot of other highlighters out there, but I feel like there aren't a whole lot, at least I personally have not tried a whole lot of highlighters, powder highlighters at least in the clean beauty world. I've tried more like cream highlighters or liquid highlighters in the clean beauty world, but so it is really nice to have a powder formulation like this that I have tried. Again, I haven't tried a whole lot, but this one's really pretty, and I think it just gives you kind of, if you're switching from conventional to clean beauty and you're looking for that, like, you know, that very popular like soft gold champagne type of looking highlighter, this one definitely I think meets that criteria, and it's just a really good like highlighter to have in your collection, or just to have because it really can be added to pretty much any look, just an everyday look or a more glam look. So I really like this. I think it's really, really pretty, and I really like the formula. I think it just applies so beautifully. I feel like I'm repeating myself over and over again. Sorry about that. But yeah, so overall I really like both the bronzer and the highlighter. So the bronzer is a matte bronzer, so if you're somebody who likes to have a little bit of like shimmer, this might not be your go-to, or might be not be a bronzer that you would go for. But I do think it's really pretty. I think that a matte bronzer just looks really nice, especially if you add a little highlighter later. I do really like luminous or bronzers that do have a little bit of more of a luminous sheen. But even though this is a matte bronzer, I still think that it has a really nice tone to it, and I just think that it makes the skin look really nice and healthy. Hopefully they will come out with a deeper shade in the bronzer, so it will cater to more skin tones. So I would love to know if you guys have tried the bronzer or the highlighter. I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you like it? Did it work for you? I think that they're really pretty, and I definitely think they are worth checking out. But yeah, so that is it for today's video. I know it was pretty quick. I hope it was still helpful for you. If it was, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. And if you guys enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would go ahead and subscribe to my channel to see even more content from me. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye guys.